So this one's about you, Sarah. Thank you for letting us do this segment because, it's kind of like your personal life or whatever. So Sarah had her first Botox experience.
Yeah, there's my face.
Yep. And we have a video about it. Should we? I guess let's roll the video first.
Yeah.
This is from Sarah's YouTube channel, which I encourage everyone to check out.
Yeah, everything's rosy.
Everything's rosy. She has a great YouTube channel. I watch it myself. So if you are new to the show and didn't know she had it, please check it out. But this is a video that you created. So I guess roll it up, Travis. What's up, Sarah? You decided to come finally to the office from the show. I'm so happy to see you.
It took me a while to actually make
And you want to do Botox, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so as I've said before on the show, like Botox is probably the best thing that you or anyone can do if you want to like stay looking young further into your years. And like you're right at the right time to do it because you're early 30s. I don't want to say your age.
34.
Okay, that's a good time. In fact, some people would even start it earlier because at that age, people start to get these little lines in their forehead and between their eyebrows. And if you don't stop from that happening, eventually they will become permanent. Yeah. But no, I think this is great that you're starting the Botox. And I'm just gonna go out on a limb here, but I'm gonna bet that you really like it because most people who try this see the results so clearly. They're like, wow, this
I told some of my friends that I was going to go do it today, and they're like, well, tell me what it feels like. And I'm like, okay.
So you're nervous about the sticks. Okay, so we do use the smallest needles that you can use. Right. They're the needles that people give themselves insulin shots with, so they are small. If you're not a needle person, yes, it will give you a little bit of stress, but most of it's just doing it the first time. You're like, okay, well, that wasn't terrible, but I
don't have a weird fear of needles.
Okay, you'll probably be just fine. So, just a couple things about the Botox. So, one, it is very safe. You might get a bruise, but outside of that, I personally don't see much as far as issues. Like bruising to me is the biggest one. It does take a couple days to start working, so you won't see your results tonight. It'll probably be 2 or 3 days when you really start to see it kick in. Okay, are you about ready? Mm-hmm. All right, let's do it. Okay, Sarah, so the first thing we do when we're about to do Botox is we clean your skin. This is just an alcohol pad. It will get off any dirt, bacteria, things like that. Okay, you ready? Cool. All right. All right. You're going to do fine. All right, so I will tell you exactly what I'm doing here, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have you squeeze your eyebrows together. So squeeze those eyebrows together. Okay, perfect. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at these muscles because I want to target them specifically. Okay, you can relax now. All right, you're going to feel a little pinch. That's about the worst of it. Good. Squeeze them together one more time and relax. You'll hear crunching, that's normal.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Yep, squeeze your eyebrows together, relax. The crunching is the needle going through the fascia of the muscle. You can actually hear it. Perfect. Okay, next I want you to lift your eyebrows up, and I want you to hold them up, okay? Hold them up, a couple sticks right now. Once again, same thing, I'm targeting the individual muscle bands very specifically. That way you get the most accurate distribution of this that you can. Perfect, doing great. All right, lift them up one more time. Perfect. Okay. And one more time, lift them up. Perfect. That's it, you're done. How was it? Tell me, was it terrible?
No.
You can feel it like a little bit, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, I felt it a little bit, but it didn't hurt.
Yeah, the needles are really, really small. Okay. Yeah, you're about done.
Nice.
Cool?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Sarah's Botox experience. So, how did you, all right, so what'd you think? I mean, it wasn't too bad, right?
No, it was cool. Yeah. It was funny because I did, whenever you were putting the Botox in my head, you were like, you're going to hear a crunch. And I was like, oh, because I did. And it kind of was like, that's different.
Yeah, so the crunch that people hear when they're getting Botox is that needle hitting the fascia. And so it gives a little, I can feel it. I can't hear it. But
it almost sounded to me like ice breaking.
Yeah, I can't hear it when I do it, but I can feel it. Because there's a layer of fascia over the muscle. And so when you go through the skin and the fat with the needle, it sails right through. But then you get that fascia and there's resistance.
Yeah.
And so it's like and you can feel it because of the vibration, like the
yeah,
the
I can hear it. I think it's just me feeling it.
It is, yeah. But yeah, so Sarah did her glabella and her forehead, which are the most common areas, and you're still a little early. So
I can tell more up here.
Yeah, we just did this 2 days ago, so her Botox hasn't really hit full stride yet. I mean, I would say on day 2 you can start to see. So you're day 2 today.
Yeah.
From having it done, you can start to see it, but really you need to be about 3 or 4 before it's going to hit full effect.
Nice.
So you're still a little bit early. But your forehead looks nice and smooth. I mean, you always look good, but I mean, I can see a difference already.
Yeah.
Just because your forehead is just so like perfect.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How long does it like last?
Yeah, that's a great question. So if you've never had Botox before, you can expect about 3, maybe 4 months. Okay, but the good news is that the more you use Botox, the longer it lasts. And if you use it regularly, you can get about 6 months out of it. So my wife, who's been getting Botox forever, we do hers twice a year.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
So
So
That's what I want to get to.
me not understanding how it works, I probably would have thought like the more you use it, the more you have to come back, like the faster it kind of dissolves out. I didn't
Right.
realize the more you
that
use
would be a very common thing to believe because people often will think of it like drugs, right? Like the
Yeah,
more,
medicine.
like alcohol. Let's say alcohol. The
Right.
more alcohol you drink, like the more you have to drink to get the effect.
Right.
So the reason this is different is because Botox is a neurotoxin. It paralyzes your muscles and it keeps it from working. Well, have you ever seen somebody that's like been in an accident and paralyzed in a wheelchair? Like their legs get really small. Why? Because their muscles are atrophying. Like because the muscles aren't used, they're getting weaker and weaker and weaker.
Right.
And so, the more you use it, the longer the effect is. But it has a time frame limit because, like there's still some, signals going to the muscle, so it'll never completely paralyze them like somebody who's had like a spinal cord injury.
Right.
Like it'll always be able to come back eventually. But
I think it'll take long for my brow muscle to
work
because I can give myself tension headaches from like
I'm going to ask you in a month or so. I guarantee you, that's a strong word. No, I'm going to say it. I guarantee you're going to tell me you have less headaches.
well, I'm looking forward to it because
Yeah.
I like if
That's
I
a
stare at my
guarantee.
screen too long or if I'm like just very like highly concentrated doing something, I can give myself tension headaches easy.
Yeah.
Especially like if I'm driving in traffic, I know that I've been in the car for way too long because I just feel like
the tension.
in my head.
Yeah, we don't advertise that when we talk about Botox, but it's absolutely true that if you suffer from headaches and you get Botox, you will have less headaches. I mean, I've had so many people tell me that over the years. So yeah, just a couple things to recap about your video. Once again, thanks for doing it. So Sarah did glabella and forehead. The other area that's very popular is the crow's feet right here. I'm a big fan of just doing Botox in those 3 areas. Those are kind of the ones that are recommended by the manufacturers. There are people using Botox in other areas. I personally don't do that, but I know some of the girls that work for me do. Just be a little cautious about doing Botox outside of those areas because it has different effects and you really want to understand it. So I personally don't do them. I don't think it's bad, but it's just not my thing. I do, once again, I'll say this again, I really believe Botox is probably the easiest thing that people can do to keep looking younger as they get older.
Yeah.
And I don't say that because I get anything really out of doing Botox. Like our margins on Botox are thin. Like it's not like a big money maker. Like I say that just because it's such a good product.
Yeah.
So things to think about if you're going to do Botox. First one is, do you get Botox or do you get one of the off brands, which is like Dysport, Zimin, and Jeuveau? So I've used all of the products. I have to say I like Botox the best. I'm not saying that to dog the other ones. I just have had people that went from Botox to one of the other ones have like minor, I don't want to say complaints, concerns maybe. I do think they work. I really think they're all fairly equivocal. It's like Chevy or Ford. I just prefer Botox. That's just me. Where to go, like a doctor versus a nurse injector. It's hard sometimes to get into doctors because, like, once again, the margins are thin and like my time is not well spent doing Botox. Not for you, I will always do it.
You told me to make sure you were there.
Yeah, I wanted to do yours. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely wanted to do yours. But I mean, there's some fantastic injectors out there. I would say that, if you're going to plastic surgeon, you're almost certainly going to get a great outcome. with injectors, it can be hit or miss.
Yeah.
You know, because there are some injectors that aren't quite as skilled. There are some different ways to do the forehead, and so you know, it's good to talk to the doctor about like, do you want like a more complete look, but it will give you, you know, less motion versus the standard look. You know, we just did standard on you, and then sometimes we'll change it. Like you may look at it and be like, oh, my eyebrows are too arched.
Yeah. That's what you said.
Yeah.
You said that
Yeah.
I would notice my
Yeah.
eyebrows being arched. I kind of can see it.
Yeah, they
My
might arch a
eyebrows
tiny bit
a
more,
little bit
you know, before
arched.
it's all done. Also, too, when we're talking about Botox, you know, my nurse did Trap Tox the other day. We've talked about that, the Barbie Botox, the Trap Tox.
What? What's that?
Oh, we've talked about that, the Barbie. Oh, maybe I did the interview. Oh, you know what? I did media interviews on that.
Oh, okay.
I thought we talked about it on the show. So, Trap Tox or Barbie Botox is where they put Botox in the trapezius muscle to give you a slimmer neck, allegedly. I thought it was total BS,
I'm
like
like,
honestly. I just didn't think it was really going to work that good, but we had some Botox rep brought some samples, so my nurse did the Trap Tox. And so, you know, after like enough time went by, I was like, okay, what do you think? She's like, well, I don't think it really changed the shape of my neck at all, but she said it did relieve some of the stress in her shoulders and neck.
Yeah, that's something to think
So-
about because that's your shoulders is where you carry a lot of
It's
stress.
just the problem with the Trap Tox is expensive. It takes like 100 units.
Yeah, this is a huge muscle.
Yeah, it's 100 units to do it, and so that's going to run you at least $1,000
Yeah.
for something that lasts, you know, a few months and
I
doesn't.
would say go get a massage.
Yeah, I would say that too. That's probably a better way to do it. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's about it as far as the Botox segment. Once again, thank you for letting us share. I know it's kind of digging in your personal life. And,
No, it was cool.
and please, if you haven't checked it out, please check out Sarah's YouTube channel at Everything's Rosie.
Yes.
Get it from. So I think that's all the time we have today. Please leave us a comment, let you know what you think about these segments, and join us next week back here on Nip Talk.